Hey Chargers fans, are you ready for some exciting news? There's a fresh face in Los Angeles, and his name is Luke Grimm. He may not have been drafted, but don't let that fool you. This wide receiver out of Kansas is turning heads, especially Coach Jim Harbaugh's. The moment rookie minicamp kicked off, Harbaugh specifically called out Grimm as someone to watch. That's no small thing. But before we dive into the latest Chargers update, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss breaking news about your favorite team. Alright, let's get to it. Luke Grimm, a former Kansas Jayhawk and team captain, signed with the Chargers just hours after the draft ended on April 26th. Though he went undrafted, the timing might have been the only thing working against him. This year's draft class was flooded with wide receivers, and teams were already stacked from previous years. But Grimm isn't just another name in the room. He brings leadership, grit, and a chip on his shoulder. With Harbaugh keeping a close eye on him, Luke Grimm might just be one of the most underrated signings of the offseason. So, why did the Chargers take a shot on Luke Grimm? Let's break it down. Grimm was the leading receiver for the Kansas Jayhawks last season with 51 catches, 690 yards, and 6 touchdowns, averaging an impressive 13.5 yards per catch. That's not just solid, that's standout. Oh, and his nickname? The Grim Reaper. Now that's a name that hits hard, and if his play matches the nickname, defenses better watch out. He wasn't just a one-season wonder either. Grimm stacked 3 straight seasons with 6 touchdowns and became the go-to target for quarterback Jalen Daniels. That kind of consistency speaks volumes about his reliability. Yes, he's a slot receiver, 5'11", 189 pounds. Not the tallest guy on the field, but make no mistake, he's dangerous. He knows how to find space, beat defenders in zone coverage, and create separation with quick bursts of speed. Last year, he lined up in the slot for most of his snaps, 303 out of 457 to be exact. That's his territory. And with a 4.46-second 40-yard dash, he's not just quick, he's explosive. Frankly, it's surprising he wasn't drafted. But lucky for the Chargers, they saw what others missed. Jim Harbaugh sees something special in Luke Grimm, and that's worth paying attention to. Grimm has something every quarterback and coach loves: reliable hands. Out of his last 209 targets, he's only dropped the ball 3 times. That's not just reliable, that's clutch. He turns short catches into first downs, and that kind of trust is exactly what gets you noticed in camp. What makes Grimm even more exciting is his savvy route running. He's smart, quick, and can change direction on a dime. Add that to his ability to stretch the field, and you've got a guy who can quietly carve up defenses. Right now, he's likely sitting behind Ladd McConkey and Darius Davis on the slot depth chart. But don't count him out. Harbaugh mentioned Grimm by name during rookie minicamp, pointing out how well he fits into the system. That alone tells you the coaching staff sees long-term potential. And here's the key: special teams. That's where undrafted players earn their spot. If Grimm shows the same fire on special teams that he does at receiver, he's got a real shot at making the roster. There may have been whispers about injuries in the past, but so far, none of that seems to be slowing him down in LA. Let's talk about what might be Luke Grimm's golden ticket onto the Chargers roster: special teams. While he showed off strong production as a wide receiver in college, it's his special teams experience that could seal the deal. Grimm logged 172 special teams snaps at Kansas, including work as a punt returner and some kick return reps. That kind of versatility matters, especially under Chargers special teams coordinator Ryan Ficken, who values smart, adaptable players. If Grimm wants to wear the bolt this season, special teams is where he can shine early. That's the reality for undrafted free agents. To earn a spot, they've got to make an impact in the trenches of the game, not just on highlight reels. But let's not ignore the challenge ahead. The Chargers' wide receiver room is stacked. We're talking names like Ladd McConkey, Darius Davis, Quentin Johnston, and Keandre Lambert-Smith, and that's just scratching the surface. It's a deep, talented group, and breaking into it won't be easy. Still, don't count Grimm out. On social media, fans are already buzzing, calling him a roster bubble sleeper and a dark horse to watch this preseason. And if he brings that same energy to special teams, he just might turn those whispers into a roar. Luke Grimm fits the mold of a Jim Harbaugh player. Hardworking, humble, and all heart. The coaches have already taken notice, and now it's time for him to prove why he deserves a place on this stacked Chargers roster. Make no mistake, the preseason is everything for players like Grimm. With 4 games ahead, every snap, every route, every special teams play will count. This is his stage to shine, not just for the Chargers, but for any NFL team looking for a player with grit and upside. The reality? The competition is fierce. There will be players we all like who won't make the final cut. That's the cost of having a deep, talented squad. But Grimm isn't just a name on the roster. He's quickly become one of the most talked about underdogs in training camp, with fans and analysts alike calling him a roster bubble standout. And don't forget, some of the greatest Chargers players, guys like Antonio Gates and Austin Eckler, also came in undrafted. They earned their spot. Luke Grimm knows that, and he's fighting the same uphill battle. Here's a stat that says it all. Nearly 30% of current NFL players were undrafted free agents. So while the odds are tough, they're far from impossible. Grimm has already made a strong first impression. Now it's about consistency, impact, and heart. The kind that makes you impossible to cut. For Luke Grimm, every drill is a battle. Every rep is a chance to turn heads. And in a crowded, wide receiver room, standing out takes more than just speed. It takes grit, intelligence, and consistency. The Chargers coaching staff is watching closely. What separates Grimm from others? He plays smart. He knows when to break a route, how to read coverage, and where to find space. And even though he's a rookie, he carries himself like someone who's been here before. That kind of presence matters. Coaches remember it. Teammates respect it. And while the spotlight might shine brighter on the big names, it's guys like Grimm who often make the biggest statements when the pads go on. He's not just fighting to survive. He's fighting to belong. There's no guarantee in this league. But if Grimm keeps showing the same fire we've seen so far, don't be surprised if his name is still on the roster when Week 1 rolls around.